yeah, so it's about going to therapy, and I cry a lot. I love crying. It's one of my main things. I'll cry on stage if you guys don't laugh. Do you cry?
Occasionally. The last time I cried was when I found out I had testicular cancer.
Fair enough.
So that's 3 or 4 years ago. So it's not. I cry over like, you know, emotional things now. So I've got 2 young kids, so they'll do things that make you sort of cry about. As when you get to my age, you just cry about the passage of time, and realising that a big chunk of your life has disappeared.
Oh.
You thought you were 25 and now you're 56. So that's enough to make you cry, isn't it? I mean, you're still young, so it's fine for you.
Oh yeah, I still find reasons to cry.
Yeah,
That's pretty great, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad you're crying. That's amazing because I mean, this is one of the questions in my show. Now I start doing my show now, but I ask a lot of like Indian men when was the last time they cried, and it's like usually like never.
Yeah.
They always they're like 10 years, 20 years, like when I was born or something. So they're really that's one of the things. Then I get into crying and everything, and I mean, I don't actually cry on stage, but so yeah, it's about going to therapy to deal with your issues and crying.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing, and it is some. I think it's not just an Indian thing. Obviously, it's quite a universal thing that men aren't very good at expressing those emotions, or feel they have to. I mean, it's sad. They feel they have to repress those emotions.
It is really sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad. Yeah. Do you guys cry often?
I mean, my audience aren't the best people to ask about this. I mean, if you just look at them, of course they cry. Look at this guy. He wakes up in the morning, looks in the mirror, and just starts weeping, I'm assuming.
That's very
nice. No
nice.
offence, mate, but, you know.
It's very good.
You look in the mirror, you know what you're seeing. It's what? They come every week. They come here, this front row here all the time. This is the best thing that happens to them in their lives. Rain or shine.
So you buy tickets every week and then you come here. That's awesome. No, I'm genuinely like... Is it like a membership thing?
No.
Oh.
No, I try to keep them out, if anything. But if they buy tickets that they haven't done anything wrong, you can't ban them. I love those days, Dave. He's the one who's here, but he's been here every day since we started doing this thing. And it's him going, they come every week. But so now, now you have a friendship with everyone. That's lovely. That's so nice. Oh, I also make jokes about Islam in my show. Yes, I know. Yeah. That's quite edgy. Yes, even here, that's pretty edgy. In India, all of the things I joke about, like therapy and stuff, is really edgy. But I realized, I'm lame over here. It's not. But then when I was made jokes about Islam, everyone is like, okay, her edge is back. I'm Muslim, that's why. No, just in case someone's confused. I can do it. I'm allowed. I'm not gonna. That's what I'm gonna say. Oh yeah, happy to have a go at those Christians, aren't you, Rich? Yep. Yes, I am. They have to turn the other cheek. It's a beautiful, beautiful system. So with the Indian comedy scene has obviously become a pretty big thing. I've known for a few years, I've heard of UK comedians going over and there's a comedy store and there's a little circuit of comedians, but it's obviously become a really big thing. There was quite a few in... No? Yes. Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry. There's quite a few... No, I'm doing the Indian head nod. I'm so sorry. Just me. It's just me. Sorry, I have to... This is how we nod, and that's not... Okay. Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But there was a few Indian comedians who came across at the same time as you, right? So Veer Das, I talked to the year before, right? Who was Veer Das? Yes. He did the show. He did one of my Edinburgh podcasts a couple of years ago. Oh. And so there's obviously a burgeoning scene out there. You were in a show called the Queens of Comedy. What was it called? Something like that? Yes. That was one of the first reality TV comedy shows. It was a comedy competition, but just for women. Yeah. I wasn't very good on it. It was 1 year into being in comedy, and I wish someone had told me that you should not go on TV that quickly. Yeah. I wish someone told me that as well. Have you also been on TV? I was on TV quite. No.
no. 1 second. I know. No, I know. What I meant was, of course, I know you've been on TV. You have a sold-out theatre for a podcast. I know. What I mean is that did you go up on TV?
We went on TV quite quickly.
Immediately.
Not immediately, but too soon, I would say.
Okay. Yeah. How many years?
Or it was 5 years or something like that.
That's fine, right? Yeah. No, 1 year is like comparatively.
1 year, but then it was a competition. It was like a new act competition. But that's to have a show for female comedians. I mean, that's quite that would be progressive in the UK, to be honest. So it's it doesn't feel like the Indian comedy scene has been going as long as the UK one. I don't know if that's wrong with me.
No, it's like only 10, 15. Yeah. The stand-up scene is only 10, 15 years old. Of course, we've had comedy on TV. And
I'm not saying that Indian people don't laugh and stuff. That's not what I'm not. Until you came along, no one in India laughed.
Especially
I'm not saying
after
that.
my award. No, we've had stand-up and sketches and stuff only on TV and like theatre, but stand-up comedy with clubs and open mics and lineups, that's just 10, 15 years old, 15 at best. And it's also because of YouTube, it's really democratic now because everyone had to get on TV earlier. But now what we do is we like cut out our clips, 15 minutes, put it on YouTube. Lots of Indians. There's 1 billion of us. Enough of them watch it, and then they want to come to our live show, and so then that's how it works.
I saw one of your clips. You say, I did a joke on YouTube. Did you see it? And the audience will go, yes. So, which is quite. And then you go, oh, I'm not going to do that joke that you've all seen. But that's an amazing sign. That of exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and also like that's true though. They don't like it when you repeat the joke they've already seen, but they have more tolerance towards it here. I've noticed the audiences. They are okay with like sometimes when you repeat yourselves, right?
Yeah. Here, that's all they get. Yeah.
You don't mind if somebody does a bit they've done before, right?
I mean, if I did. I mean, this show is me just saying the same thing every week. I'm telling the same stories again. There's just so much of it that you have to think that no one's listening to all of it. Some of them are. And there's a website that details like when. It says what's in each episode, and there are like headlines like testicular cancer. I'm like, they'll just.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
But it's good that you do new material, so well done. Well done for that.
No,
it feels like a very exciting scene, is what I'm saying. It feels like something's happening.
Yes.
And something is coming out of all this, and I don't know whether people would expect India, from a UK perspective. I'm not sure, and this is bad for the UK. I'm not sure you would necessarily think, India's going to be the place where comedy comes from, in this big way. But I mean, of course, when it comes to stand-up, it's still new. Like it's 10, 15 years old. But like it's really taking off, and it's very it's people want to go out and have an evening out and watch stand up and stuff. But also we have a lot of different languages, so there's a lot of different types of comedy. Like there's Marathi from Mumbai, where there's just a local scene of Marathi stand up comics. Then there's Tamil comedians, and then there's Hindi comedians. And Hindi is the language that's mostly spoken throughout India. That's like a hot button issue. But it is, the majority of India speaks Hindi, so that scene is also really taking off. It's taken off, it's overtaken everybody. And so English, Hindi, Marathi, Tamil, there's so many languages, and then everybody's doing stand-up in their own language. Yeah.
And then so I do a mix of Hindi and English, which is how I think. I think in two languages. And so then when I had to come over here, I had to, of course, translate a lot of it. But it's a great scene. It's really fun. We also bitch about each other and hate each other, and which I've noticed happens here also. It's really fun.
It's good to see that's universal.
It's so good, yeah. Comics are the same everywhere. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell this story, but I think, whatever. Bill Burr had come down to India, and he was doing his show in 2012, I think. And so then he got together with, and I was not in comedy then, so I heard this later on. So he was hanging out with a few comics, and one of the questions a comic asked him is, who do you guys bitch about? And Bill Burr was like, I cannot believe I have traveled halfway around the world and I'm sitting in the same shit that I left back in America. I'm talking to the same people with the same mental health issues. I was like, comics are the same everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
It is what I think we are. I think that's the thing. We sort of I mean, I've always talked about this, but I think we kind of recognise each other, and like dogs would recognise each other.
Yes.
Despite being different breeds, and you know, and you immediately are very comfortable. I think in the company of other comedians. It's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah, it's because I think you don't have to be too careful about what you want to joke about. And then obviously, I mean, that doesn't reflect very well on us, but we like when we can just say anything. It's like...
Yes, I mean, you sort of are usually fairly safe amongst comedians in doing stuff that you wouldn't necessarily do on stage.
Yes, and we don't... I mean, I wouldn't be... even if somebody was upset, they wouldn't be as offended as easily. It would be easy to,
Yeah.
Get away with things. Yeah, that's it. But it's a lovely scene you have here. It's very nice. I mean, I'm really enjoying it. No, honestly, it's so fun.
Good.
Yeah.